Okay, guys, hello, welcome. Finally here for the Mandalorian review. Not so much of a review, more like a discussion on the first 5 episodes. Really sloppy. We're gonna get really sloppy, like grandma's blowjobs. All right, that's it. Okay, and I haven't seen 608 yet. I'll do proper reviews for those later. Those will come at a later time. I just want to get my general thoughts out, essentially, for this the first 5 episodes and what I'm feeling about the show. Honestly, I was really hesitant just doing a video about it anyway, since I was so busy, and after watching the first 2 episodes, I could not give a shit about Mando. Mando is bad. I know a lot of people like it, and that's okay. You can like whatever show you want, but there's major problems with this show, and not just this season, just every season of Mando. It's I'm so sick of Disney and their bullshit, right? And Star Wars in general. I'm just tired of it. It's all the same shit. Andor, Andor, a fucking beacon of light in the everlasting darkness that is the Disney Star Wars, universe, right? It's a miracle how that show got made and didn't become like absolute dog shit like the rest of them. You know, including like whatever else is going to come after this, right? Because I have no faith that those will be good. I'll give everything a fair chance. I have no faith. But Andor's just like, it's a mystery how it's beautiful. And no one cares about Andor. Everybody cares about The Mandalorian. Even though The Mandalorian is basically the same as Kenobi or Boba Fett. It's probably not as bad as Boba Fett, but it's like up there. It's like they're in a league of their own of just like dog shit. So we'll talk about the first 5. We'll get into it. First of all, we can say this season is the most directionless season so far. In the show's history. There's no like rhyme or reason to really anything happening. There is no real plot. I'm up until like maybe episode 5 where they're finally starting to find something to do. It's crazy. It's crazy how there's like nothing happening. And the other seasons have this problem as well. With Mando, it's filler. It's all filler essentially, and it's just like God, do something. And it's crazy too. You know what else is crazy? I really like this because it's so funny actually. They do this in like every episode. Um, they do the recap, right? They do a recap of everything that's happened and everything that happened before. So in the first episode recap, and it's crazy because this is the perfect opportunity to do it. So if you didn't watch Boba Fett, you wouldn't know that Grogu came back and he's with the Mandalorian again, right? You wouldn't know that he went to Luke's whatever the training planet, where Kylo kills everybody, right? And he got Grogu back. So if you didn't watch the extended DLC of Boba Fett for the Mandalorian, you wouldn't have found out how Grogu is now in possession of Mando again. It's just doesn't it's funny. Like, I guess Disney just imagines that everybody's watching everything on their platform, so they wouldn't. Of course, they would know. But it's probably not the case. There are probably more people that like Mando than they do Boba Fett. I just think that that thing's really funny. Since they do it every episode, they have a recap of everything. You'd think that at one point they would show Grogu and Luke on the planet training or whatever, but they don't. I just think that's funny. And tons of other horrible stuff in this show, like bad acting, horrible plots, people always affirming everything that's happening in front of them, even though everybody already knows what's happening. It's constant. That's like a constant thing where characters are doing like an action, they go to do that action, and they literally like tell like the audience and you what's happening in that action, even though we can already see it and we already know what they're gonna do. It's kind of crazy how they do that. They don't stop doing it. Um, it's also weird. All the stakes from the show are obviously gone. Stakes don't matter when you have like super Beskar armor. Not that any of these characters know how to fight anyway in any situation, because they're always episode 4 and 5 are particularly bad on that part. Well, maybe we'll get to them later, but it's just not good. No stakes, directionless plot, horrible, boring characters. It's not even really the Mandalore show anymore, honestly. Ever since episode 5, where I can garner from it is that Bo-Katan is going to be the main cast or the main protagonist of the Mandalore, which is crazy because I'm guessing a lot of people don't even know about Bo-Katan's past or what she's done, and the show goes to great lengths to not tell you that and to make her seem like a relatable hero or a good person, even though Bo-Katan is not a good person. Because if you've watched the Clone Wars, you know she's a fucking terrorist who kills other Mandalorians. She sided with Darth Maul at one point in that show, and that's all canon. They don't they don't fucking address it. Of course they wouldn't. They live for forgive and forget, right? Forget it all. I find that absolutely hilarious. First episode was crazy. Mando wanted to go get IG 242 or something like that, whatever his name is, the android that blew up. Also, all the fight scenes are horrible. Yeah, all the Mandalores are shit. Everybody, there are no stakes. Remember that. Just no stakes in this show at all. Obviously, what I don't like, and this is fucking hilarious too. For some reason, the Mandalorians came to this planet with like giant crocodiles and giant like pterosaurs that steal and eat their children constantly. Yet they don't really do anything about it. But they continue to like stay on this planet when they could have just gone to any other planet that didn't have these creatures. It's a big galaxy. They could have gone anywhere they wanted. Why go here? Hilarious scenes. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Anyway, Amanda wants to like go get a droid to like go to the living waters, the magic water on his planet. He needs a droid to do that because the air on Mandalore is like fucked up. So he goes around, all these places, just to try and find this droid. But of course, he has to go to Tatooine. Couldn't get one from Apollo. He specifically wanted IG whatever the fucking robot's name is. I don't remember. Went back to here to see Apollo Creed to get his get his android. They couldn't fix him though, so he goes to Tatooine to get a different android. But this android doesn't have a scanner to look at breathable atmosphere, even though he's wearing a helmet that could probably tell him. What are we doing? And since IG 14 whatever the robot's name is tries to kill him, he forgets him completely, and that whole storyline is just like ruined with that. We don't care about that anymore. Whatever. The show is just a mess of absolutely catastrophic proportions. The only good episode was episode 3. It had actual characters that like talk to each other. This entire episode was so like out of sync for the Mandalorian. Someone else wrote this. I think Dave Filoni didn't write this episode. Someone else had like control of it. Maybe they needed like more filler. This episode had actual like stakes within it, and we got to see a lot of bureaucracy and world building about how the New Republic actually, that's crazy. For the sequels, we always wondered like how this New Republic functioned. How did they allow the First Order to even come to being? And we see like bureaucracy here and characters and old characters. And the episode 3 was actually decent. It had its own like story, but then it goes back into the Mandalorian though, right? So it's like, what good is this episode anyway? I'd rather have a like show about Pierce here or any of these like New Republican guys that aren't like Mandalorians and always fighting all the time. Just give us a story, right? Like with Andor. Andor had a story that worked, and it was characters that built upon each other. But not the Mandalore. It had stakes as well. It was good. It had good characters, good not poorly written characters like everyone here. It's crazy. Yeah, so I'm not jiving with the Mandalore. I don't like it. That's fine for me. I will be. It's so hard to just like watch these episodes. Just so you can pick them apart endlessly. Everything that's wrong with them. I'll do that next time. I'll be doing episode 6 shortly after this. But yeah, again, just my general thoughts. I don't like this show. Um, all right, I think I'm done rambling. Sloppy as always. Oh boy. Mando. This might be like the last season for Mando, honestly. Ever since they booted Gina Carano, they rumors about her maybe coming back, maybe. But if Mando might be getting booted off this season. I'm not even sure. I'm not totally sure what's gonna happen. But maybe it wouldn't be the last season because Disney always likes their fucking cash cow, right? Mando always. Well, I guess we don't even know if like Mando's technically doing good because they don't release that information, right? We don't know how much money they're making through these shows. They would never release that on their like Disney Plus accounts. They wouldn't tell you just how much money they actually get from these productions. But yeah, Mandalorian bad. All right, yeah, I'm done rambling, done being sloppy. All right, I'll be back for a separate review, proper review. Okay, you guys, have a nice day. See ya.